Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, April the 6th, 2015. My name is Michael from Global FX Club, and this is the daily Elliottwave video. Just before going forward, please do pause the recording and read over our risk disclaimer. All right. As of late, there are no open trades, so we are going to jump right into the swing of things. As of recent trades, though, our most recent Euro Kiwi longs, those were stopped out for break even, so we're not in that position. Well, we're gonna take a look firstly at the calendar, then we'll take a look at a few trade setups, and then we'll close out from there and look forward to this upcoming week's trade. Um, Happy Easter, everyone who are celebrating. We don't rule out a really muted Sunday into Monday. So don't rule out a possible Tuesday. Really, the market pick it back up in terms of getting some market liquidity. All right, but this upcoming week, the economic calendar is packed with a few economic events. On Monday, we have the U.S. ISM non-manufacturing data. That is for the month of March. On Tuesday, we have the RBA rate decision. Okay, forecast is for 2.25, so for rates to remain the same. Um, the month prior rates were also at 2.25. So the real backdrop is to see what the comments are going to come across the wires at. Then on Wednesday we have the FOMC, the minutes of the last meeting. Um, Thursday, a big one for the UK. That is the Bank of England rate decision. Okay, very similar to that of the RBA. Rates are expected to remain the same. However, the comments following the actual release of the expected unchanged is likely to stir some volatility and the British pound crosses. Also on Thursday we have the Chinese Consumer Price Index. Okay, that's expected to come across as well. And then Friday, ending off the week with Canadian change in employment as well as the unemployment rate. All right, so let's look at a few of the trade setups. We'll like to look at the dollar CAD and the CAD crosses, the British pound crosses as well, and also the Aussie crosses, as those are likely to be some of the key movers in light of the economic data that is supposed to cross the wires. Here we have the Euro Kiwi. Okay, I still like the setup for longs. I probably will not re-enter it though. But if you are looking at this trade and are still interested in market direction bias, okay, bias is still to the top side because right now we basically we had the top side break, so that's what the original play was, and then now we have the retest. Okay, and as long as prices really hold above that trendline support at 144.10, and this is the 4-hour chart, so as long as prices hold above 144.10 and then the first degree pivot at 143.14 about, then we like a upside move towards the 100% retracement into the 161% point 0.8 extension located at 148.76. So a 200 pip target area, but again you could close out half a quarter at the 100%, and then as such those key zones. Okay, so that's for the Euro Kiwi. Again, probably will not re-enter it, but a pair that we are really focusing in on is the Aussie Yen. All right, the Aussie Yen had a nice break. Okay, this break came off of the back on Friday with NFPs, largely on the back of the Aussie dollar. Okay, and then we see the Aussie dollar really held below this resistance line on the 4-hour chart. Okay, one key notice on the Aussie dollar is that, well, one, we said the trend line, but then we do have some bullish momentum divergence. Appears that we broke below it on this momentum here, but then this low in the RSI is still higher than the low from back in the end of January. All right, so the first ideal play for the Aussie cross is the Aussie yen for longs, as and then this will hold and the buys will hold as long as we stay above the recent lows. Okay, but I do like this breakout and then now this back test. Then we have only one wave higher here, so we're looking for at least a third wave. And if this low does hold, um, then that aligns closely with the 61.8 area on the recent downswing, mixed with the 161.8% fib extension. All right, so a big key zone in my opinion, for the ASEAN. Okay, and then if the ASEAN starts to break higher, obviously, then the Aussie dollar will follow suit. And then my ideal play would then be to get to break even on the ASEAN and then look for a longs on the Aussie dollar. All right. Away from that, another Aussie pair before we move on is the Euro Aussie. Okay, Euro Aussie. If I take away this, so we hit this target area. This was a nice trade setup. We got long. I remember this trade, so very similar to what the UQ is doing now. But I remember getting long here. We closed out at 148.67 about. Did a re-enter here, but this would have been ideal. And then we obviously had this push up to the top side. Now, the Euro Aussie is at a interesting juncture because it has met the 161 extension, but at the same time has already broken above this resistance area here. Now, as I'm looking for higher moves in the Aussie, I ideally like for the Euro Aussie to break this resistance at 142.87 to get back short, okay? And that will align nicely with the Aussie dollar, the ASEAN, and everything else that we are currently projecting as of late. All right, so some key big moves for the Aussie crosses. Okay, again, looking for a downside swing here. And just before we close up, let's look at the pound. Pound, finally, it has finally broken to the top side. If we get a pullback, I'll trade the pullback. I don't really like around current price action because then around current price action will have me have a Y stop. But if you are long or look to get long, your first degree stops or pivot, you're looking against 147.30. Okay, here, and then second degree pivot at 146.30. Okay, as long as we stay above these two key zones, then the ideal target level is 152.24 to 155.60. All right. Ideally, I prefer a pullback to get long, but again, if you are long, then stay long. Euro pound. Um, I'll stay away from this trade for now. Let's see how prices develop. Pound CAD. Pound CAD is very again very similar to that of the pound dollar for obvious reasons due to correlations. Upside is preferred against the recent low here. As long as we stay above 184.70, don't rule out topside and root of 190 to 192. That also aligns with that 50%. So 190 will be ideal in a three-way fashion. Okay, so keep a close eye out for that. All right, guys. So let's end it off from here. I'll pull some trade setups in the members area. Um, Also, the team will as well. So jump in the chat room if you have any questions. Feel free to access and good luck trading. If you're not a member, please feel free to sign up for our 14-day trial. If you have any questions or want us to cover any particular trade setups, email us at info@globalfxclub.com, or you can just Skype us at Global FX Club. Cheers, everyone, and again, happy Easter.